evening, Captains. How are we going today? My name is Femennenly, and I'm here to bring you a black screen. Just kidding. I will quickly fix that for you. There we go. Today, I am bringing you Sea Trials Update. Well, PTS 8.0 Part 2. How are we all doing today? I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your day so far, leading up into this lovely weekend. So we did announce and we did bring out PTS Part 2 starting from January 11th to January 14th. So across this weekend to, again, look and see about some of the balance changes we've made as part of, what is going to be the first and biggest patch for a little while, which is the Rework CVs. Hello everyone, it's good to see you. Covenant, Alice, Granty, Fred, Golden Eagle, Sean, Dingleberry, good to see you guys. I hope everyone is doing well today and you're having a fantastic day. So yeah, 8.2, sorry, why do I keep going for 8.2? It's because it's 8.0 Part 2. This is the second PTS we're doing for 8.0, and with the knowledge that, hey guys, we are still aware that some things need to be tweaked ahead of its release onto the formal server later in the month. I hope you guys have been doing well. Let's get straight into it. Obviously, the thing that's on everyone's mind, the big draw card for this patch, is the CVs. We have just even CVs now. If we take a look into the tech tree, they have moved to the right-hand side, and you see we only have the Hosho, the Ryuju, the Shokaku, and the Hakudu. That means the Zuiho, the, oh man, you're testing me, right? The Hiru and the Taiho have been removed for the time being. For those who are curious about what's happening to the Tier 7 CVs that are being removed, some of them, for example, the Ranger is being moved to Tier 6, and the Independence is being removed instead. Those models are going to be held back, reworked, redeveloped, and then potentially re-released as alternative lines in the future. So they're not disappearing, going away completely for good. They're just going to go away for a little while. So several things have changed with the CVs. As you can see, their ammunition and consumables looks a little bit different to anything else we've seen in game previously. And what I can do to make this easier is I'll just turn that off for a second. So Torpedo Bombers, you have the ability, the engine cooling, that means you can fire up your engines again quicker. Torpedo Bombers and the Dive Bombers also have that. On the Hosho, which is what we're going to start off, the Hosho also has the ability to drop the catapult fighter for area defense as well. Will other warships stay the same? Yeah, stay Grego. Sorry if I butchered your name there. This changes is CVs at the moment. No other ship classes are seeing any line changes in terms of tech tree. In terms of upgrades, this is a brand new one. This increases the speed of the aircraft returning. So if you return some planes back, they'll be able to relaunch and reused. Could lower the music a little bit. Okie dokies. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So they return faster, so you can reload them and reuse them a bit. In this slot, you have aircraft engine modifications one, which increases the amount of boost time you have. Better? Let me know if it needs to go down, guys. I had to rebuild some scenes just for today, unfortunately. So that's what we're looking about in ammunitions and upgrades for the Hosho. We're going to play one game of each carrier, so we've got 8 carriers to try out. We don't have the premium ones at the moment, so we'll go through that. Wonderful. As you can see, guys, we have changed up commander skills. Obviously, some of the ones we've had previously are no longer going to be useful in the new in the new setup of those. So with that, I'd like to say, yes, guys, we are giving all captains that are specialized as an aircraft carrier captain a complete free respec. There will be some other captains that will also be impacted by a respec, but I don't have the details for you for that at the moment. So let's have a look at some of these new skills. Accelerates aircraft servicing, so that means your planes will regenerate quicker. We have directional center for fighters. An additional fighters launch, but they don't stay up. Both fighters don't stay up in the air as long. We have engine boost time, again, increases the amount of time you can go at full speed with your fighters. And last grasp completely restores the engine boost for the last planes of the attack carriers, of the attack. So, for this one, honestly, I personally think the two most beneficial is probably this one, having that extra fighter up when you need it, and probably as a secondary here. In terms of skill line 2, pretty much the same, you know, not that much different. Torpedo acceleration still affects CVs. You also have the squadron speed increases, so your planes will move faster. And Adrenaline Rush is still impactful for CVs as well. In this line, honestly, all three are pretty... I'd say, you know, your best two are going to be these two, and it just depends how you like playing. I personally, I've never played with Torpedo Acceleration, so I'm going to stick with Adrenaline Rush. Tier 3, you do have Survivability Expert for planes, at which will give you 50 extra health per tier, so that's 200 health at Tier 4, with the lower amounts of AA. This is probably going to be more useful at the higher tiers when you do start seeing some higher tier anti-air boats. Beyond that, aircraft armor, so a little bit more defense against incoming anti-air, and guys, we're only going to do this one once, so don't worry too much about that. And HE bombs. Now, the thing about the Japanese line now is all of the bombers on the Japanese line are now AP bombers. So, as an AP captain, this one really isn't going to be that useful for you. We've got this one, which increases your stability on your planes, and obviously concealment as well. Since we've got that one last skill left, I'm just going to take that one too, and we're going to get straight into battle here with the host show and give you guys what it is looking like. Can you guys reset the personal's player stats after the rework? I think what we intend to do with stats, similar to what we've done when previous lines have been changed, is that in your stats you'll see like old Hakaru, old, you'll see like the old versus the new stats. Guys, real quick, I'd just like to remind you, I am one person here in the chat here today. That was weird. If I missed your question, please just give me a chance, restate it, make sure you @ World of Warships so I have a chance of seeing it, please. Will radar be able to detect aircraft sooner? I don't know on that one, Diligent. Do not know. What's gonna happen with this, already answered that one. So, with the AA, I know a lot of you guys were mentioning, and it was something that Sub Octavian did mention in his PTS, PSA, is that AA on the original version of the
autopilot mode enabled
of the PTS was very questionable. We have started to adjust that in this, and it will be continued to be worked on as part of the live server changes, as well as the next iteration of PTS, because I do believe we intend to have a third part to PTS 8.0. Your game volume is really high. Okay, let me turn it down. Because this is a different client, we usually don't use PTS on this computer. I didn't get a chance to set the audio levels. Hopefully that's a bit better. Opai Manko, what's happening with premium CVs? So at the moment, guys, you will have an option on 8.0's release to return your CVs, and you'll get a doubloon value for them. This is your premium CVs. Premium CVs are moving to tier 8. I don't have any further details beyond they're going to be at tier 8. And they will have some special characteristics more unique to them than the tech tree ones, is what I've got. Way better, thanks. Sorry guys, thank you for humoring me. If you notice any technical issues, just let me know, because I did have to rebuild some scenes for today. Okay, so as you noticed at the very start of my game, you have two options for controlling your CV. You can either use the overhead minimap, or you have to be without planes and still on your ship's view to move it. So unfortunately, you are unable to swap between being in aircraft mode, which is this mode, and being on CV mode. So I click, I try and line up with the Karlsruhe here, and I click again to drop my payload. So while you take off with 6 planes, on the host show at least, you only use 2 at a time for attacking. So that means you can make multiple attacking runs on multiple different ships, or the same ship multiple times if you feel like playing that game and being that person.
approaching target.
So this is tier 4, so the damage is pretty negotiable, or it's not as high as, you know, what you're expecting it to be, but that's always been the case. Tier 4 CVs even originally didn't have huge amounts of like damaging ability. It was more just early. So if we go back around, we're going to try again on this French one. Now the later you can leave it, as soon as that plane's empty, I go back to my carrier. And like I said, this is the opportunity where if I want to speed up, slow down, or adjust the course of my carrier, I can do it before I take off the next plane. So let's now take off my CVs. My Torpedo Bombers. What happens to all of our progress tier 5 CVs they are removing? So let me get through everything at once, guys. Just hear me out. I will answer a majority of your questions just in what I have prepared, ready to say to you guys in my head. So just humor me for a moment. So back to premium CVs, you will have the option to trade them in for a doubloon value at the time of the rework, aka 8.0's release. And then in the future, guys, we will be bringing premium CVs back to the premium store for you to purchase at that later date if you want them or if you've never had them before. Slow down to try and reduce the amount of time. Unfortunately, since one of those went down, we did lose it. We go back to the next. So when it comes to tech tree CVs, so if you're like me, I have both tier 10 CVs and I have all CVs unlocked. Any odd tier CVs, you are going to receive a refund of a combination of credits, free XP, and module dismountions for free, depending on some particular details. We do have a big news article that's going to be coming out pretty soon, which is going to detail this a lot better than what I can do off the top of my head from reading it this afternoon. But oh man, 2 incapacitations, no damage, feels bad, man. But I need to keep resetting my cap and disrupting these guys. Good thing is the other CV is helping. But controls are a lot smoother if you only ever got to play during the TST testing. It's actually very, very enjoyable to play at the moment. So you will have details of exactly what you'll get back for each tier, each CV that you had will be better detailed on the news article that we'll have coming out in the next week or so. I read it this afternoon. There's lots of details on there. But essentially, if you're no longer interested in CV play, all the hard work that you've previously done will not be in vain. You will be given the XP that would have been used to research those ships back as free XP, so you can reestablish and reuse that for something else. One thing that will continue to be difficult with CVs, however, is definitely hitting destroyers. That's one element that has become significantly harder, and not just because I'm in a host show with only one torpedo. But even at higher tiers, they're particularly squirrely. Destroyers are quite difficult too. So as soon as that goes down, I can stay here, but realistically, I want to get back to my aircraft carrier so I can load out the next plane squadron I want to play with. I'm going to move my ship now as well. What about odd tier premiums? All premium CVs, guys, are moving to tier 8. They will all be moving to that tier. If you have the cargo now, you'll have the tier 8 cargo at release of 8.0 instead. But if you decide to trade them in for doubloon value, you will get close to their original or at their original doubloon value. Unfortunately, I don't have committed to memory what the doubloon value of CVs were back in the day. Oh, not a good attack. In that case, what I can do now is I can just actually. I have 3 more seconds to make the attack. I'll drop it just face on right there. Oh yeah, right in the nose. Come back around and get ready to do another attack here. But as a CV main, like, I've been playing this most of today. This is pretty much all I did today. My boss was like, Radar X was like, "Fam, we just want you to play CV Rework so you can explain it comfortably on stream today." I'm like, "Can do, boss. Can do." Is DDAA now anything to be worried about that much? I haven't played any of the... I haven't been playing the other ships. I've mainly been focusing on trying to get good at actually playing CVs. Oh, the new version of CVs, which I'm pretty competent at least the mid and low tiers. High tiers are still a little hard. So one thing that I did notice was a bit of a concern point for a lot of people on various forums, Reddit, etc. was the unlimited nature of planes. Now the thing is, while yes they are unlimited, the fact of the matter is you do have to wait for them to reload. For example, if I was to take off my rocket planes again, that would just very quickly destroyed by another ship, I'd only be taking them off, like, say, a half squadron instead of a full squadron. So while, yes, you can, that's more time you're going to have to waste to fly back and forth, than rather than waiting for them to reload. So it's not really that practical to just take out a full set of torpedo bombers time and time again. I'm really hoping our CV, the other CV, sorry, will help get rid of that destroyer for me. So tier 10 AA build should have lots of CV tier 8 CV matchmaking. I don't know about that. When I was playing tier 8s earlier, although this is PTS, it was mostly tier 8 games I was in, but of course that is with auto matchmaking. Can't use that anymore, so we take that out. I'm gonna go straight into my bombers, and you can tell when a squadron is fully ready because the full number will be out of the full number, and that's when you're good to take them off. Oh, I've got a sneaky cruiser coming to attack me. I'm gonna try and go this way, I guess. Sorry guys, it's actually kind of difficult to play this version and watch chat at the same time as much as possible. I'm only one person today. We'll have some moderators in the chat shortly. That yellow line that you see, that is your activation time on the torpedoes. Just like in destroyers, they have to be sailing for a certain distance before they can activate the torpedoes, so you need to make sure you leave yourself enough room there. Unfortunately, they took out my torpedoes very, very quickly, so it's time to take something else off. Useful for the US and even the rockets, at least for the US Navy. I haven't played too many of the US Navy games yet. I actually haven't played any because I predominantly like my Japanese carriers, so that's what I was trying to do. This will not be a great attack. Look. The lower and closer you can wait until you can get your shots off, the tighter the reticle will be on the drop, which of course is more beneficial because you have higher accuracy. I feel like a lot of the concerns that a lot of people were worried about very early. Okay, but one more attack run on this. Not getting any luck with these dive bombers on this destroyer. Swing around again.
Taking fire. Engaging enemy. Torpedoes astern.
Looks like I'm pretty much going to be forced to use my torpedoes there.
Airborne.
I really need to get rid of this DD that is chasing me. While I'm in front of him, I'm not as in danger, but the more he will eventually catch up to me, you know? So let's give this a whirl again.
Approaching target. Torpedoes astern.
Try and get as close as possible.
You're under attack. Returning to ship.
Destroys, of course, you have to leave quite far because, you know, it's really things. Wonderful, got him. Okay, so now we swing back around. And we'll go back.
Taking fire. Torpedoes astern.
Probably need to go get on the other side of him, actually. I'm going to hit my speed boost to swing around.
Engaging enemy.
Oh, I didn't do this one well. I'm just going to drop that just to get rid of it. So that I can get my next attack run looking a bit better, because I definitely clicked way too early there, and that's something you have to be considerate of when you're playing this, is that as soon as you click, your maneuverability on the planes becomes quite significantly left. I don't know if I've left enough room in here. Yep, there goes the torpedoes. We might be able to move out of the way a bit. Yes. That's not good for me. Okay. Well, I already have torpedoes back up again, luckily, because I haven't been wasting them, and my torpedoes have been able to fly back to my carrier. But I really need to make this one work if I want to save my own bacon here, you know? Here we go. Round and drop, round and drop. Hold him in his turn. That might be enough. Oh, I need one more good torpedo drop like that. Okay, swinging around, swinging around. Speed down, speed down.
Approaching target.
There we go. Wait for it to turn green. Green is when you know you're good to attack, because of course there is kind of a get into position delay. Okay, there's one plane left. Okay, I am going to try and use this one on the Wyoming before we proceed further. The music's too loud again? Okay, we'll move it down a bit. Okay, we'll try about that. Apologies, guys. Like I mentioned before, if you weren't here, I had to tweak some of the settings on the stream, and I didn't have a chance to check audio before going live.
Returning. We're under attack.
Good news is, since my friendly CV is managing to hold off theirs, I'm going to start aiming back in towards their cap. Awesome. Is there a guide by Wargaming on the controls of the new carrier gameplay? Yeah, so the first time you log in, there's actually a little control window that pops up. It's pretty simple though. It's very intuitive, but yes, there is a little guide that pops up straight away to keep you informed and let you know straight off. Okay, let's keep going. What about AA mounts? Shouldn't they be immune to destruction as well if planes are unlimited? Well, the thing is, they're not necessarily unlimited. Like, yes, they are in the conventional sense of, hey, you know, they will keep respawning, but at a certain point, if you're running through planes like they're going out of fashion, the respawn doesn't really help you. And that's a situation I found out earlier today in the Shokaku versus going up against a Des Moines, is that the Des Moines was close enough to me that it didn't matter that my planes were unlimited. He just kept farming them as soon as I attempted to take them off, and I couldn't actually re-heal full squadrons. And see? So in this instance, I took off my dive bombers straight away, saying like, oh yeah, you know, I'm fine. Wait, never mind, ignore me. I'm having a moment apparently. Yeah, so me and my buddy just need a tag team to try and work these out. Yeah, a lot of the details a lot of you guys are really curious about will definitely be detailed in a very thorough swing back around again. Very thorough news article that's coming out really soon. It'll be out, I think, this week or next. Next week, sorry, because obviously it's almost the end of this week. Oh my god. But since I'm not losing planes, they're able to get back to my carrier and recharge, which will give me more pens. Okay, I want to... So, since since my main vessel is about to die, what I'm doing is I'm taking off the most useful plane to me, because you will still be able to control your planes that are currently in the air, even if your ship goes down. Oh, I thought I took out my torpedo bombers. Not. Hey, nice 2 Citadel hits to the back of him. So now you see my carrier is completely dead, unfortunately, but I'm still able and allowed to control these planes up until they are out completely. So 80 bombs have moved to Japanese ships at the moment, whereas American do get the HE bombers back. There we go, another Citadel through his back turret. And onto my last attack squad. Actually, what I might do, I might send this one down, all the way down to our Wyoming down here, and try and reset the cap to see if I can give our CV a chance to cap. I don't know if it's going to be practical, but 2 minutes to get it done before the planes run out of fuel and have to go down. I accidentally turn the carrier and lose them completely. No, as you can see, the F button is locked, so I cannot return them back to my carrier. I'm just going to collect a few more defense cap buttons here. Real quick. There we go. 2 more defenses, reset the cap. But that's pretty much all she wrote in regards to that. But 83k damage, that's more than I've done in a host show in a very long time. And as you can see, at every point I was doing something. No one be using fighters. I didn't have an aircraft carrier we were against. Okay, so we'll exit back to port, maybe. There we go. When is the release of the patch approximately? It will be in January. 8.0 is set to drop January. I don't have a confirmed date at this point, but if you're familiar with how we do our patches and how our events go, you can probably work it out based from that. Okay, so let's jump into the Langley now. We're just going to quickly spec it out. I haven't played the American line yet. But we'll kind of give it a go and keep playing to show you all of the current ones as we go through. Like those. Grab our commander skills again. It was this one. So again, with American, they now have the HE bombers. So the use of demolition expert here can be useful. Because you've got that or continuous damage. So we'll take continuous damage, we'll take the concealment, we'll take the aiming stability. Oh, that kind of covers us. Okay, exterior, don't want to sail naked, so we'll throw on some camo. And we'll go into battle. Awesome. Oh, let me see if I can get into random battles, actually. Yeah. Will one-sided CV matches be possible? No video technician. We do have, particularly with CVs, attempt to have side-by-side matchmaking, so I don't believe we'll have that. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? Does the time limit on planes with dead CV change by tier? HJG, I actually haven't looked at that one. So I can't make comment on that. I'm not quite sure. Sorry guys, I am doing my best to give you as much information, answer as many questions as possible. Please humor me. If I miss your question, just make sure you tag Femennenly in there. What will be the research cost for the tier 6 carriers? Not sure at the moment. We have not released information on that. I believe they're probably going to stay the same. We're just increasing the... I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know. So how's Friends Friday doing? My Fridays, all I've done is play PTS today, and I'm loving it. Had a good day playing PTS. Okay, so here we go. We're playing against another player carrier at this point. If you guys haven't, are interested in playing the CV rework, make sure you get in on the PTS Part 2. The more players we can have playing it and working towards getting more data in, the better the devs can do with balancing on release. When is the Alaska going to be released? Soon. Don't have a date I can give you in the Alaska. Guys, as much as we would love to give you all the kind of the tidbits and the sneaky sneaks here on stream, some information we just can't give away, and that usually has to do with ship release dates and stuff. They get released when they get released. Any Chinese New Year events / missions? I would take a look in the January missions briefing there, type X1X. The information will be in there if we're doing anything for Chinese New Year's. Royal Navy carriers when? When they're ready. Oh, that sounds awesome, awful, Oz. Can the secondaries on CVs be buffed, please? Well, a lot of CVs didn't have the biggest what are they called? Secondaries to begin with. It'll be interesting when we confirm what is happening with the Cargo and the Enterprise. You know, the two CVs with designated more more secondaries than the others. I did recent details on those, but unfortunately I can't share it with you yet. CVP public test feels a little unfinished. Aces of Aces, well, we are very acknowledging of the fact that this is, to a certain degree, work in progress. We are aware that there are several balances and several tweaks that are going to be needed to be made on data pulled from live server, just because it's not possible to balance everything off a public test server, just due to data limits and other things. Little fire on his back tail. Slow down spin. Actually, go for Colbert instead. But yes, Sub-Octavian did acknowledge in his PSA after the first rework, after the first PTS, that we are going to continue to balance things even after the PTS is finished and it is released, because, like I said, some things just can't be done in-game. Will the British CVs have proper tea-making facilities and an armoured biscuit tin? That would be amazing, and I might have to talk to someone about that. Watch Notch the play and AA's overpowered squads were not able to make it bonding ROM. 0-point bot captains, you went too far with anti-air. Well, that's part of the whole balance thing, Fire, is, we are aware that, it potentially isn't perfect yet, but we're in the process of making it better. Okay, I'm gonna drop off my little fighter there. As you can see on the minimap, a green circle has appeared. That designates that the area that my fighter is going to patrol. Okay, so might not be the best torpedo dropping ball there. Okay, spin my planes around. Here we go. Come back in for run number 2. And we'll spin around one more time for the last squadron. Dang it. It's a lot harder aiming with one squadron than what you think it would be. Okay. I'm gonna use my boost here to get my planes moving and grooving a little bit because I got a bit stuck there going around the mountain. And then we'll swing back in and try one last time on this car's roof. Click! To get him to start flying down and to reduce the reticle. So as long as the ship is beyond that yellow line, that is the activation time required for that torpedo, it will arm in time. Okay, let's take out some rockets. Will the update be dropped this month or in a few months' time? The McArrow, this is coming in update 8.0. 8.0 is slated for January. I can't unfortunately give you the exact release date, but it is slated for January. 2 seconds till I get up to the Colbert in time. Unfortunately not. So as you can see there, you have a limited amount of time to make the attack run on a ship. You do have to be quite considerate of when you're pressing click and when you're starting the attack before going in. Otherwise you're just going to waste. And you'll have to do another run by. There we go. Fire on him again. And we're down to our last attack run. One question I did see a lot in the forums over the last week, since we announced and kind of showcased what the CV rework would look during the TST sessions, is what distinguishes the tiers from each other. And I can finally give you like a really clear answer on that. So as you can see, on the Langley and on the Hosho that I've so far played, most of the squadrons, torpedo squadrons have been, 3 planes per squadron, and each torpedo plane goes out by itself and drops 1 torpedo. What will make the distinguishes between the tiers is that higher tiers will have more planes per squadron and be able to do more attack runs and potentially even have more armaments per plane. So for example, higher tier rocket ships may release 3 rockets instead of 2 from lower tiers. So that is what's going to more distinguish apart the higher tiers from the lower tiers. But aiming and controls of the planes have gotten significantly smoother since original TSTs and original PTS rounds. It's now very smooth, and the controls are very, very reactive to what I'm trying to do, which is really nice. So we're getting there nice and close. Click now to start the bombing run. Oh, he took it out. Okay. What we're going to do is quickly move our carrier along. Okay, and take our bombers out. Now, as you can see, the enemy Hosho is coming to attack me. So what we should see is, my plane took out, well, it should have. Oh wait, no, because I'm launching. Never mind. Got myself a little confused there. Okay, keep going. So far we're not doing too bad, 16k damage, tier 4 game. I mean, a lot of it, I did waste some planes at the start of the map too, unfortunately. But it's actually pretty, there's not as much kind of dead time in the game as what you think there'd be between like having to spin around planes and whatnot. It's actually pretty quick to go between the different attack runs, and although yeah, you're only controlling one squad and you're not kind of multitasking as much, I find it still pretty enjoyable to play. I was a very, very big supporter of the old type, an ungodly amount of games scheduled in that. I think I just took off the wrong type. I did just take off the wrong type. Whoops. It's okay. So they have 4 ships left. We have 3. Okay, let's keep going. Hi fam. Hey Plenko, how are you doing? What happens when you're the last ship and you die? The game ends? Yeah, the game ends if you die. So Stormcrow does make a good point. One thing I didn't mention, the closer you release the torpedoes to a ship, obviously the more anti-air and the longer duration you're going to fly through the anti-air, and the chances of losing more planes are. So if you can drop earlier, it's kind of like a give and take. You have a chance of saving more of your planes, which will make your reload quicker. But you also have a bigger chance of missing your target. Excuse me. We'll spin around. I find that slowing down your planes will give you a tighter turning circle, funnily enough. You know, because that's kind of how it works. And we'll go back for the Kaiser. Aim a little ahead of him. Because remember, he's going to keep moving even past when you do your first plane. There. Only 1,000 health left in these planes because they are getting anti-aired a bit. The other distinguishing detail between higher tiers is some of the higher tier planes have the ability to regenerate health via consumable as well. There we go, a little fire there, and we return straight to the aircraft. Let's take off our torpedo bombers. You work the World Warplanes dev for new plane models? No. Your fighter don't go to those bombers because they take off before the magical auto ones? Yeah. How viable is the CV sniping with the rework? So, I had a CV trying to snipe me earlier. Dive bombs and torpedoes don't do as much damage to CVs. It actually took multiple runs for any distinguishing damage to be done by me. So, yes, you can do it if you really want to commit a lot of resources to doing it, but is it worth it? Eh. I'd honestly debate it at this point. I don't know if it is, because you waste a lot of time doing it. Okay, I guess we're gonna do a torpedo from behind now. But yeah, the more you're willing to risk in terms of getting your planes in closer, the more you stand to gain in terms of accuracy of your planes. So as you can tell, when my plane gets in super close to the Kaiser there, you know, my spread is so narrow that it's going to be very hard for him to miss them at all. But at the same time, I'm risking a lot of health of these planes, which then, if the plane doesn't make it back to my CV, I have to regenerate the plane, which will take more time. 52 health. Want to make sure the plane goes. Sorry, I get the torpedo up before the plane goes down. There we go. So right now, I'm not seeing a huge need for rockets, and that is something about this particular tier, since there isn't a lot of boats with a lot of anti-air, and that's always been the case for tier 4. Tier 4 has never been super anti-air heavy. Excuse me. Is that the rockets? They're good for doing module damage, and they're good for putting things on fire, but with not very many ships having a lot of anti-air at this tier, they kind of lose a little bit more of their purpose. But that's always been the case for kind of this tier, in that they don't have a lot of anti-air. Swing back around. We're gonna definitely want to try and use the torps and the dene. I think we're gonna struggle with the dive bombers, just due to the spread of them. Come on, turn. So you have a little bit of ability to adjust this as you get closer in, but not a lot. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get moving to begin with. And we'll take off our torpedo bombers. We gotta get this dene out. I need 3 good runs on it, and knowing me, the chances of that are not strong. So let's get going. Can you play high tier with 90-point cap? I want to see the possible 8. Yeah, we're playing every CV. We're gonna play all 8 CVs that we have. We're just gonna do them up in order though. So we'll get through and we'll play every CV. Don't worry about that. One, swing back around. Tight corner. Tight corner turn. Low speed to prevent it going too close up to him before it is activated. Up it up again. And we'll do a figure 8 turn again. Oh no, we missed it. Not what I wanted to happen there. Now we're gonna eat his torpedoes. Ah, good on him. Okay, so that's what you're looking at the Langley. Langley and Hosho, you know, both tier 4, both play pretty much the same. The main thing is the differences between the AP and the HE bombers. Do I like the rework overall? Yeah, I actually do, to be honest. I didn't like it at first, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I wasn't feeling it, but the more we've developed it and the more like we've tested it and tweaked it, it's actually become really, really fun. Yeah, so the Zuyo, the Hero, and the Taiho are being removed from the Japanese side, and the Ranger is moving to tier 6. The Independence, the... Oh, man. The Independence, the Essex, and the tier 5 one. I can't remember the other one that are being removed from the American line. Is tier 4 gameplay a little bit better now? Yes, significantly. Bogue, thank you, the bogey. Yes, Dave Downing. This is playing from the perspective of the planes on the ship. Okay, so now I am at tier 6. Gotta wait for the game to start. Ranger, yes, the Ranger has moved to tier 6 and the Independence has been removed. So in very basics, guys, I'm going to try and explain what's going to happen with your ships on release of 8.0. So we're going to start with a very basic example. If you have just the Ryujo and you have the Zuiho and the Hosho. So you have tier 4, 5, and 6 of the Japanese line. So what will happen on the day of release is the Zuiho will immediately be removed and you will be credited the free XP for the research cost of that ship. So say that the Zuiho cost you in total 1,000 XP to research, you'll get that 1,000 XP back as free XP. Now say that you've saved up 5,000 base XP, aka the XP that you can use to convert into free XP via doubloons. That base XP is then going to be moved to a different ship. You're not losing it, but since you haven't converted it, you don't get it as a freebie. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and actually drop off a fighter right in here as kind of just as a bit of a patrol coming up for those other planes. Okay. Drop this right here. Not a good attack. Just gonna click that and get rid of it. I misjudged that. You moved a little bit faster than what I anticipated. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna take that back and pretend it never happened. Okay. So that's the free XP. Now, say that you have your Zuiho in port when we release the patch. You'll be given, say the Zuiho cost 100,000 credits. You'll be given that 100,000 credits back. Any of the still applicable modules will be demounted and put into your inventory. Any modules that are no longer applicable, no longer used in game, will be able to be sold back for their credit value. Now, say that you're like, well, I don't really like CVs anymore. I want to completely get rid of them. Like, I don't want to have these done at all, even the even tier ones. What you have in that scenario is you can trade starting from the high tiers of your tech tree down and receive back the research XP, any credits for the ships for selling them as well. For example, however, you cannot say unresearch your tier 8 CV and keep your tier 10 CV. You have to unresearch your tier 10 before you can unresearch your tier 8. That's the basic premise of it. Again, guys, this is just very, very vague example, but we will have a portal article out on this, giving the details a lot clearer very, very, very soon. We're not going to leave you in the dark. It will be very clear. One thing I would suggest to all of you guys is make sure that you read it thoroughly to make sure you understand the instructions completely. So as you can see, going up to the Ryujo, the first thing you notice is while the Hosho only had 1 torpedo per plane drop, one plane and 1 torpedo, the Ryujo now does 2 planes with 1 torpedo each. So you're effectively dropping 2 torpedoes at once instead of the Zuiho. And this is how you're going to see predominantly the main changes between the tiers. That was actually a pretty good hit on the Bayern. Against the auto... hold on. That one's too much to read while trying to turn around. So what I'm trying to do is knock off the anti-air on the Bayer as I go. I've knocked off a bit more there. And of course, catching some fires on him isn't going to hurt either. We'll swing back around. Might actually try and go for the Dallas to get the Dallas reset real quick. But with him going into smoke, it does make it very hard to see him there. Got a rough idea where he is, which is about there. Hey, got him. Pure luck, yo. Okay, against both, this rework is okay, but with the auto console and the possibility to retake carry during an attack run on live serve with the DD and the CB, do you think that will be work? Can you rephrase your question? I'm not sure I'm understanding you completely, and I don't want to answer you incorrectly. During PAX South, are you going to be there all 4 days, or just a specific day or two? Can we expect the same for PAX East? We have not announced any plans for PAX East at this stage. We're definitely working on a lot. The NA team has a lot of events we're considering doing this year. You guys will just have to sit pretty to find out what exactly they are. In terms of South, Mr. Radar X, did you hear out about that? I know I'm going to be there all 3 days, because South is only a 3-day event, whereas West and East are 4-day events. I'm still waiting. We're still waiting to hear whether Mr. Radar X and Kami Samurai will be there all 4 days too. Okay, swing back around. Attack this one, but okay. I want to go for the New Mexico, but I didn't have time to swing the planes around. Hey, Citadel hit with AP bombers. We'll take him in. Okay, last round. Need to try and get nope. Okay, with the Bayern coming around the corner, that's our target right now. Damn it, you a coder or an artist wargaming? I am neither. I am a community coordinator. What that means is I do a lot of the work with the community in terms of helping out on the forums. Hold on.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Helping out on the whoops, clicked. Okay, we're just gonna wait for them to finish off. I help out on the forums, I help with contests, I do in real life events. I'm not an artist, nor am I a developer. I just do a lot of the community work, is what I'm about. Man, I'm not a fan of this Dallas right behind me right now.
Taking fire. Engaging enemy.
He's dropping off the fighters to help defend himself, so I'm gonna drop off my fighters. I'm gonna swing back around and keep trying to attack this guy because I don't have a lot of health left now. One down. Of course, it looks like our friendly CV is also helping me here. Put another fighter on me because the enemy CV is also trying to drop on me. I'm just dropping off fighters left, right, and center right now. Oh, there goes down my carrier. Unfortunately, CV did get me with his dive bombers, it looked like. A little bit of left time here. I did know that was more on me for not moving sooner, unfortunately. It's okay, I've still got a few attacks here. Not. Oh, so unfortunately, there goes my planes, and I didn't use the last ones particularly well, but that's kind of what you're looking at with that. So let's jump into the next one up now. What happens if you only have an independence? Will you instead get the Ranger as a replacement for the tier 6? Yes, Elstec, you will. What will be the limit for the number of CVs per team? I think at the moment we are looking at most 2. So let's play the Shokaku. Let's go that way. Does the angle of which AP bombs drop have an impact on their chances for overall penetration armor values, or always the same? I believe it is always the same. The main difference of trying to come in from in front or behind is obviously with your pattern being oblong. It's not an oblong. Being an oval. If you come in the side, you're kind of wasting 2 ends of your oval. How do you get to the odd tier CVs, Funky Monkey? Well, we're going to be removing the odd tier CVs are being removed as of 8.0. So I believe there's just going to be a higher XP gap between going from tier 6 to tier 8, for example. But there is going to be no more tier 7. Infinite attacks by 2 top tier CVs. But I do not believe CVs are going to be allowed to division. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a case of one 1 CV per division as per normal. Refund for premiums? Yes, a doubloon refund is going to be on offer for anyone who is no longer interested in their premium CVs. With the understanding that... Ooh, I'm top tier. As a show of good faith. So you have unlimited planes now? Technically speaking, yes, but the planes do take time to regenerate and re-prepare, so you can't, for example, just take off torpedo squad after torpedo squad after torpedo squad. What tier will get stuck on if I'm currently on the Ranger? If you're on the Ranger, you'll be, any XP that you previously earned on the Ranger will be moved back down onto the, well, what would be the new Ranger, as confusing as this will get. So you'll be back at tier 6. So much, may I answer you all, but I don't play much, so I'm a big noob and have many questions. No, that's of course Funky Monkey, guys. I'm happy to answer as many questions as you guys can throw at me. If I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know the answer, but I'm going to try and answer as many as you can. If I have the Lexington Halloween camo without having the Lexington, what happens? You'll still have those for when you do unlock the Lexington? So when you pull my carryout and spinged out the captain, how's that working again? The captain will, if it was a specialized CV captain, you will have the opportunity to have a free respec onto it, and it will still be available. It'll just be moved for another ship for the time being. Real Von Dutch, I do not believe we have any intention of adding that option in. The more you divide down the matchmaker, the longer queue times gets, and the you know, no one likes waiting for queues. So I do not believe we have any plans to split up matchmaking any further. Plus, variety is the spice of life. You know, you're not always going to get CVs in games, but you know, it does add variety when you do. So as you can see here, I'm now in the tier 8 Shokaku, the Japanese one. I have another consumable, and this is a repair consumable. What this will allow my planes to do is, as I'm attacking something, I can actually regenerate health, and what that can help me do is kind of let my plane survive through what might be a heavier AA onslaught than wanted, I guess. Is one way to put it. I did a long drop there because I did not give my planes a chance to dip dive because he was moving faster than I had anticipated. We're going to keep flying past him. As you can see here, this bar here shows what my engine power is. I can go at full speed until that goes down, in which case then I either have to wait for my engine to reload, or I can hit my engine booster. Okay, swinging back around, going back for the Queen Elizabeth. And we'll get through. But the main thing I would say is we've greatly improved the controls. They're a lot more responsive, and a lot more kind of, they do what you expect them to do, sort of thing. There we go, 2 overpins. These are AP bombers, so I'm not always going to penetrate, unfortunately. It's kind of part of the joy of AP bombers. You know, big damage when they can hit, but when they don't. Okay, unfortunately lost that. We'll take out our torpedo bombers now. If I have the Lexington and the Ovechkin camo, I decide to refund the CV. Will I also be able to refund the Ovechkin perma camo? We do have a system in place in regards to permanent camouflages. I don't have the exact details on it now, but we have considered that, and we will have options available for those in those situations. All the other captains, I mean the manual AA, the AFT, as changes, right? There is guidelines on which captains will be getting free respecs. I don't have the exact details, but once again, guys, we will have a portal article closer, probably next week sometime, giving more details and about. See, that time I flew over, so my torpedo bombers aren't actually going to arm in time to hit the Icarus because I wasn't paying attention. So let's try this again. Okay, so I know roughly where he is in his smoke cloud. About there-ish. But that was just that was my bad one.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
Okay, and now we go back and we'll start working the Queen Elizabeth again. Surely they can't think that 2 top tier CV per team is reasonable in any shape, form, except from this rework. Well, Sparky, a lot of the issues of previously putting 2 top tier CVs in the same game together, you know, has been negated. And again, I'm not 100% sure on that. I could definitely be wrong, but I don't know. Like I said, guys, I can only give you the information I kind of know, or that I've seen, but we will have more thorough documentation coming out for you guys soon. Really what we need from you guys the most at the moment is to get you onto the PTS, get you playing so we can collect data from the games and whatnot, so that we can make sure that we can do as much balancing as we can beforehand. Okay, we've got the New Mexico, we've got the Queen Elizabeth coming this side. I'm going to start moving towards A because we do need a cap. We're 4 ships to 7 at the moment. One thing you will notice is that these are very quick games. Usually bot-based games do end up being a bit quicker. It's got nothing to do with classes, and that's why my damage numbers are very low. But, you know, think, at tier 8, how many games do you see that are over in, you know, 5-ish minutes? And that's just with how the bots are programmed.
Taking fire. Engaging enemy.
Oh, good hit there. Citadel, 2 defenses and an incapacitation. We'll swing the planes around, slow down to spin quicker. Probably could have afforded dropping off a plane with me and my 2 allies because that's all that's left. But I can do that on the way back. Not a good drop, not a good drop, not a good drop. Well, that's one of the issues. We're going to take that back. We will go ahead and take out our Torpedo Bombers now instead. As we drive past our allies, what I am going to do is I'm going to drop off one of my squadrons to help protect the general area over them. To help give them a little bit of defense. So here we go. I'm right near him. I will drop off my plane there. And as you see, like I said, on the mini-map... Okay, we're on torpedoes, that's right. Oh, I did this one well. Yeah, that works too. I drop off the plane to help defend my ally against planes coming inwards on him. Now I'm going to swing back towards him again. The enemy also left a plane behind in that general location, which is what is torn up my planes. Because I only got 1 left, I am going to take that back and take out a different plane set instead. We'll take out this one. We'll grab Zeppelin, keep the AP bombers. I don't actually know the details for the Graf Zeppelin off my head. All I know is it will remain at tier 8. I can't quite remember what we're doing for the Graf Zeppelin. But again, more details about what's happening to individual ships, aka the premium ones, will be released in a portal article, guys. So keep an eye on the home pages. You're really into the intricate details of various aspects of the game. Or the plan, as it were. Try this again. So unfortunately, really bad angle to come at because I'm only using about 1/3 of my drop space to attack him. But it's kind of what I had to use in that instance. We've got a better one now. Spare. Now, I'm no way in claiming to be like good at playing this yet. I've only been playing it for half the day today. But I can tell you it's already a lot more comfortable than our previous test iterations on the TST and on the previous public test. And as you can see, like, anti-air is definitely already a lot more balanced than what it previously was in the first version of the public test. I should have waited on that one. Okay. What have we got that's close by? Oh, no, that's not good. Okay. Oh, set my auto path to go backwards.
Maintaining present course.
And then forwards. Okay, but I need to work on this battleship behind me. I did not realize that he was there. Since he's got a fighter out, what I'm gonna do is 3 seconds until I can release mine.
Taking fire. Approaching target.
So I'm gonna release my fighter here.
Fighter airborne. We're under attack.
Oh man, I didn't even see that the cruiser on the other side of me had gotten round. It's not good. I didn't realize my BB buddy had neglected me a little bit. Okay. Here we go.
Returning to ship. Taking fire.
let's try and get this Pensacola.
Engaging enemy.
Well, at least that will give me the freedom to move forward.
You are the last hope.
Until my buddy dies. Come on, can we get two on the Pensacola? There we go, that's good.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
What are we going to take out? We'll take out bombers, I suppose.
Taking fire.
Whew. They're getting a little toasty in here. Luckily, well, no matter what, I'm not in the best position. Okay, so what we can do here, like I said, we have the ability to self-heal our planes a little bit.
Problem solved, sir. Approaching target.
So even though I'm being attacked with anti-air, with this self-heal, I'm able to regain some health on my planes, so that I have a better chance of attacking these targets. So yeah, unfortunately, like, bot battles, you know, there's very little you can control. It's all about just kind of working out how to play. That's one of the cool things about, you know, playing on the PTS is the opportunity to try something you may not normally try.
The ship is on fire.
Normally, if this was a regular player, I would be beyond dead at this point. So who's going to be playing the PTS this weekend? That's the main question. Who's going to be jumping on it? I know I intend to do some of my own streams on my own channel featuring it too. There we go. Finally, we died. A Royal Navy carrier is going to be a thing in WoW. Yes, Funky Monkey. As on the dev blog, if you guys haven't checked out the dev blog, check it out. It is available through that link right there. We have already released pictures of the CVs, but no details on when they're arriving yet. Okay, so we tried the Rework. Let's go take out the Independence now. Oh, sorry, the Ranger, because it's no longer an Independence. The Ranger, which was originally Tier 7, has been moved to Tier 6. We'll just get all the goodies for it. Yeah, it's good to see. We have 800 odd players on the sorry, 600 because apparently I can't read. Keep going. Too busy grinding all those millions of credits for the PEF. The PEF is a bit of a grind, I will not lie, but you know, nothing. You know, free stuff isn't meant to be easy to get, right? You gotta put the work in. Okay, so Tier 6, let's look at the next two upgrades that we get. Secondary module, sorry, second battery, AA guns module, and then you've also got Torpedo Bombers module 1, which increases the attack time, so you have additional time to get your drop lined up. Or you've got the same, but for your rocket craft. I'm going to actually, I'll take the torpedoes, just because I do like having a little bit of extra time there. And on this one, you have your standard damage con, and then you have additional health for your different types of planes. Let's just take a quick look at this. So really, it's kind of like, do you want your ship to survive more, or do you want one set of your planes to survive more? I'll just take this, just because. Why not? And then I'm gonna just rip my commander off my Langley, so we don't have to respec. Okay, let's go in. What will happen to the premium ships like cargo? ZYZY. Premium ships, you'll have the option to refund and get doubloons back, or you can keep them and they're being moved to Tier 8. Again, guys, more details will be released on the homepage. N1NA912. When will the CV rework start? CV rework will be released on patch 8.0. 8.0 is scheduled for January, so this month. So we have not released the exact date of which 8.0 drops, but if you are familiar with our development cycle, you can probably work it out. CVs get stronger and stronger the longer they, because there will be less anti-air in the battle. That's always been the case, for Rice on Tour. The Rice on Tour? I don't know. Okay, so, 14 seconds. Oh my gosh, it's getting warm in this room. That's okay. So, 8 seconds. That last game was kind of nice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we had players being players, definitely could have won that. But of course, with, you know, in a bot-based game, you know, the bots, they're bots. You know, they don't do the most sensible things in the world. We'll put it that way. What's happening with the Hood's rocket anti-air? I do not know, honestly. I do not have any details on that at the moment. When the patch is released, all captains will get reset skills or the CV ones. I can definitely say any captain that is specialized to a CV will get a free respec. Other captains at the moment are pending. I do not have the finalized details on that as we have not announced it publicly. I'm gonna drop off a plane right here as it kind of protects our flank a little bit.
Fighter airborne. Waypoint reached.
He had the same idea.
Taking fire.
So when you see these circles, you want to try to avoid them because otherwise you're going to connect with your enemy's plane in that instance. So someone asked me about CV sniping. We've got this ranger up ahead. Let's look at the practicalities of doing it. Let's see what the effect of hey, look. So immediately, Hay already has a fighter plane up protecting his CV. I'm going to go for a bit of a longer run. Look how quickly my planes deteriorate as I go in. That is why CV sniping might not necessarily work as well as one might think it will. Because the planes just went bye-bye. Will secondary weapon mounts, as well as AA mounts, get their health pool increased? I have not seen any details or any documentation on whether we're making any changes to AA mounts at this stage. It's one of those things, guys, that when it gets released in 8.0, just because... Oh, no, these are rockets. Just because it's going to be released one way doesn't mean that we're not going to tweak it further. So if we release it and then we suddenly see, you know, anti-air isn't as effective as, or it isn't balanced quite right, or say, apparently Fem talking and playing is not the best skill in the world. Or anything along those lines, you know, we are very open to making additional changes, additional buffs and nerfs as needed to ensure the balance and to maintain like the integrity of the game and, you know, what it's meant to be like. You know, the game is meant to be fun, and we don't want it to be non-fun in one way or another just because we release something one way and it's not working. So we're very open to making the changes where it needs to be made, essentially. So I'm gonna reverse back a little bit my boat, just because, you know, I do have the Dallas and the Nuremberg barreling down on me, and our Bayern looks like he's just gonna ram one of them. What happens to the XP earned on my Ranger tier 7? Will it move to the tier 6 Ranger, and what will happen to my Independence, e.g. XP earned on it? So, let me make this drop and then I'll talk about that again. See, although unlimited planes, guys, if you burn through your planes too quickly, the unlimitedness does not help you. So, okay, we explained this before, but I'll try and explain it again. To my understanding is, at the moment, if you had, like, say, 5k of convertible base XP on a ship, aka XP that normally you'd need to pay, that you pay doubloons with, and to get converted into free XP for you to use. That base XP is not going to disappear. That one's just going to be transferred onto another ship, so you can still convert it with doubloons if and when you decide you need to or want to. That was a great rocket launch. All 8 rockets hit that time. That was awesome. Any XP that you use to unlock modules or the ship itself from a ship that's been removed, aka your odd tiers, will be refunded back to you. So say that you used 1,000... One good rocket launch, the other not so good. Say you used 1,000 XP to unlock your original tier 7 CV, you're going to get that 1,000 back. Probably actually need to start.
Autopilot mode enabled.
But again, guys, we're going to have very detailed instructions and explanation of how the refunds are going to work for your premium CVs, for your standard CVs, for your odd tier CVs, and your even tier CVs. I've read the documentation. It's just a lot of it that That isn't the easiest to explain without it written in front of you. But we are very aware that players are interested and they want to know what they're getting back. So we do have plans in place for that, yes. So as you can see, I have a fighter over my plane taking care of those bombers that are shooting at me. Doing a really bad job right here, right now. I think we're just going to try and drop this in the Nuremberg spot.
Taking fire. Returning.
So if I was to take off my torpedo bombers, I'd only be taking off 2 right now, which is definitely not what I want. We'll take off our fighters. Sorry, our dive bombers. Rangers coming at me with torpedo bombers, so I'm going to drop off another plane to help kill. I guess we're just gonna keep trying to attack. Fortunately, like I said, you know, bot play isn't always best play. And while, you know, a team could have won this from, you know, having better skills than a bot, just bot teams aren't best teams.
We're hold below the water line.
Let's go.
Flooding quickly.
Where are you at?
Taking fire.
It feels like once again I'm going into a pretty heavy AA situation. Probably need to bring the rockets in next time to help clear out some of the anti-air. Okay, Bayon's being put on fire. We're gonna swim past. Did the Bayon repair? It does look like the Bayon actually repaired, so this might be a good opportunity to maybe try and get him on fire again. Oh, we swung around. You want to watch the health of your planes as you do stuff like this? The last thing you want to do is wait too long to get your planes in close and then actually end up losing your planes completely. Okay, so I have my 6 required for a full squadron on my torpedo bombers, so we're going to take those back in. Let's drop off another fighter plane to help protect myself. We'll get the torpedoes going on the Bayer too now. He's already on fire, which he cannot repair, so I should be able to get him flooding here as well. I could have waited a little bit longer for that one to drop in, so I could have a tighter spread on my torpedoes, but it will be okay. So the longer you can wait with it being narrow, the tighter your spread will end up being, which is obviously better.
We're under attack. Returning to ship.
Unless you miss. Try to stay again.
Waypoint reached. Destination reached.
There is definitely a learning curve with like the lead on these planes, working that out. As you can see, the American ones also don't go quite as narrow as what the Japanese torpedo planes do.
The ship is on fire.
Well, I got the Bayern back on fire. my ship is dead, but I got the Bayern on fire, so that's counts, right, guys? Rockets for fires, 4 penetrations, a little bit of damage. And the rockets are predominantly used for, you know, taking off enemy anti-air. They hold more use at the start of the game than the end, where the end you need to more be focusing on getting ships out of the game. Hey, got one. This is flash shoot, you can still do that. My last attack, I'm going to try and get it on this Bayer and try and get him back on fire because I know he repaired fires recently once again from my main ship. No fires there. Unfortunately, that is the end of the game for me with our other ship almost dead too. Matchmaking. Stop messing around with the edges. The CV sub's good. Blub. We have actually made substantial changes to matchmaking in the last 5 patches. We had a patch that updated it so tier 8s would not see tier 10s as often. A lot of players have reported back on that was how that has been effective. We also included another patch that reduced the amount of destroyers per match, limiting it to 4 within the first... oh yeah, we can't play tier 10s. Forgot about that. Limiting it to 4 DDs within the first 3 minutes of queue. We're consistently making changes and making updates in terms of matchmaking. But one thing I'd like to remind you guys is the thing about development is there are probably at least 100 developers in the World of Warships main development office in St. Petersburg. Now, the thing about that is they don't have everyone working on one thing. So, for example, the developers who work on designing and creating new ships are not the same ones that work on, say, maps. There's a lot of different departments that each have their own responsibilities. So, for example, if you come in here and the game's having an issue and complain to me, hey, Fem, why aren't you working on fixing the... Oh, actually, we got options here. Why aren't you working on fixing the game at the moment? I'm going to be like, well, I'm community staff, and if I touch the servers, they're going to end up in a worse state than anything else. So we do have teams looking at balance, looking at matchmaker, all kind of separate from one another that work together as a whole to get the game in its best place. But yeah, just, you know, different people do different stuff. Okay, so what are we looking at the different here? We got the Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim has more health, but here's where you're getting the difference here. Lexington, the choice between the rockets, you have 2 rockets per payload in this one, with 2 aircraft per ace strike, whereas the Corsairs, you have 2 you have 8 rockets with 2 planes still, but these ones probably don't do as much damage. Yeah, so these ones do substantially more damage, but these ones do less damage, but there's more of them. Interesting. Okay, so let's load these up. So this is the Lexington, the tier 8 now. Good old sexy Lexi. Okay. Health. Let's just take a quick look at something on this. So, at this point, you do see that your dive bombers, you get this extra health repair. So seeing as we get it on our dive bombers, I think I'm going to give my torpedo bombers a little bit more boost with the anti-air. And I'll take concealment to stay hidden. And we'll just grab the commander. I haven't had a lot of time to look at the commanders and kind of really work out a decent build yet. I just wanted to get more of the feel of the play at the moment. So the build is okay, but could probably be tweaked and adjusted. But again, we're just trying to get in and get playing. That's our main goal at the moment. Fem, you tried to fix the servers and made them worse. Please fix this. So guys, again, what would happen to my normal CV earned not research credits? Happened to my normal CV earned not research credits. Sir Jack Ryder, can you rephrase your question? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Wardock, I've seen the clip. I've also read documentation. So, just hang tight, okay? What did I eat for dinner last night? I think I ate meatballs and bread, if I'm not mistaken.
Autopilot mode enabled.
I don't really know. Can't remember. Why is there, because there isn't. You've had the ships for a while, you know, you've got your doubloons. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with torpedoes again. Can you add premium CV to the arsenal? I don't think we have any plans of that at this stage, but you never know. The good news is after the rework, once everything has settled down, it is very likely that we will be releasing the premium CVs once again for sale again. Meatball sub? No, it was meatballs on a bowl and then bread in my hands. Okay. When will the Arsenal have a change of ships? Well, at 8.0, we are removing the Kronstadt and the Musashi. So logic suggests when something comes out, something new may go in. So hopefully we'll have some new ships for you guys coming in soon, but I don't have any details of it exactly. I apologize. Okay, so what are we playing against? Mostly tier 8s, cool. And just a friendly CV, sorry, an enemy CV player. So, sorry, he's young. Anti-air there. We're just gonna double back. Again, we're just kind of scouting at the moment, seeing what we can see. What do I think of the Saipan right now? I've never liked the Saipan. I just don't find it very fun to play, but I have not obviously played it in its re-iterized version, because that is not being featured on the PTS yet. So it could be a lot of fun now, but original Saipan I'm not the biggest fan of, excuse me. Biggest fun of. Oh, okay. Let's see what it's like to attack a destroyer. It's going in for the Kiev. You're gonna get 2 torpedoes? Looks like. Oh, no. 3. Have a look. Okay, so we kind of have like a staggered U pattern almost. So 3 planes per drop on the new Lexington. Oh, dang it. Okay. Oh, we're not going to be able to use this. So as you can see, these lines indicate the kind of the spread of each of the torpedoes where they can go. Oh, we might actually be able to get the Augie. No, we just kind of luck chuck that a bit. Okay, let's try the rockets. So yeah, I didn't play the Lexington today. I was mainly looking at the Japanese line because that's my preferred line. So let's get some rockets in here on this Ognivoid. We go out fast, we have a chance for our aiming reticle to get really small. Oof. 4 penetrations. I didn't kill him in the end. Someone else detonated him, but it was a good little spread. So this is you know, 2 rockets each with 8. 2 planes each with 8 rockets each, but the rockets in comparison to the tiny chins do not do as much damage. So you get more, but you have more chance of hitting, but for less damage. So kind of you got to assess what's more valuable for that for you when you're picking those planes. Like a higher opportunity or. Okay, let's take out the torpedoes again. Okay, so far.
Destination reached.
I'm tired of guessing and not knowing what to spend my coal or steel on. Better on what you feel like, what sort of ships you enjoy playing. The thing about it is, anytime we've released anything in the Arsenal or the Arsenal or Free XP ship, you've always had plenty of time to regrind. So if there's a ship that you're seeing in there that has been in there a while, you know. You know, you're going to have ample opportunity to, you know, give yourself enough time to research, to obtain enough resources to get whatever comes next. You know, they don't go in one day and disappear the next.
Taking fire. Approaching target. Returning. We're under attack.
Get the torpedo up? Yeah. Maybe. He slowed down. It looked close. Okay, let's take out the bombers since those are completely full. Azuma, for instance, it's still a coal ship. Well, Zai, it's a surprise. You know, we don't announce what things are before we're ready to in most cases, just in case, because you know sometimes plans change. But as soon as it's released, if it's, you know, a resource purchase ship, you know, we are going to give you time to obtain those resources. We aren't just going to drop it and then kind of say, okay, you only have a day to get this done. Lost all my rockets there. Let's take out these. Once again, I just don't seem to have the good bot teams today.
Maintaining present course.
Hey, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, how you doing?
We're under attack.
Well, we don't always do giveaways. We did a lot of giveaways at the start of Christmas and during Christmas holiday season. So we're fresh out of codes. I haven't been back in the code closet for a few days, or for a few weeks. So, but you know, we cover great content here on the channel, not just my streams, but the EU guys as well. There's always great, interesting stuff happening. So you come by for the content, and you know, sometimes you get lucky, and we'll be giving away stuff as well. So make sure you hit the follow button on on Twitch if you haven't. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button to find out when we go live, because we're always doing some interesting live streams on here. You never know what we're going to be giving away. Another fire in the chat. Do one more rocket launch on the Amagi now. Last plane. I didn't quite get a chance to click it before it went away. Okay, we're gonna have to reverse back a little bit, just because all of my team is behind me, and I've got this Amagi barreling down on me. He did recently hit repair though, so I might be able to get floods on him on the side. When I remove, you'll get the if you have the Essex, when it is removed, you'll be able to get the required and any hold on. So right now, although limited bombers, none of them are completely full for me to take off a full squadron. So I'm gonna try.
The ship is on fire.
Maybe try and get another fire. I didn't mean to reset my torpedo bombers, it just kind of happened.
Airborne. The ship is on fire.
It was an accident. So what I am going to do is hit my repair, try and get these planes in. Don't think I'm going to be able to though. Yeah. Oh man. See? Although I've got limited planes, as soon as I start like burning through my planes like in a frantic means, the fact that they're quote-unquote unlimited doesn't actually help my case that much, because I'm taking off with half squadrons and I'm having to do twice the amount of time to get back where I need my planes to be.
Approaching target. The ship is on fire. Returning to ship. Taking fire.
Might get two there. One. Just the one. Torpedoes again. Drop off my bombers. Yeah, unfortunately, what was left of my flank over here just didn't hold up, I guess.
Approaching target.
Try and give myself as much time to get as tight a spread as possible. Should get 3 on there now. Oh, just the 2. He managed to turn in for the first one. And unfortunately my CV is dead, so this will be the end of me pretty soon. Yeah, the last 3 might get those 2 on the front 2 torpedoes. Maybe actually just the front one. Yeah. A little bit slower than anticipated. No floods either, feels bad, man. But you kind of get the idea. Is the radar fix coming soon? We have not announced any changes to radar at this stage, guys. So there is definitely a major skill difference in terms of what you need to do between old CVs and new CVs, and just trying to work it out is a bit of interesting. But is there a lot of credits I earned still not used or converted? Okay, so it makes it so much easier if I was on my own account. Here we go. So, actually, I don't. Say this was a tier 5 CV that is going to get ridden of. Say this CV cost you 1000 XP to unlock and purchase. When this CV goes away, you're going to get that 1000 XP that you used to unlock this ship originally back in free XP. Your convertible XP will be moved to a different ship, so once again you can still convert it if you want to with the balloons. You don't automatically get that as free XP. The money that you use to purchase this ship, you will also receive back in credits. Does that make sense? Azuma on the Alaska is coming with 8.0. Again, we do not make comment on when we are releasing ships, just because a lot of the time it is subject to change. Hey, Canada loves you. Does that make sense? Kinda, a little bit, maybe? Thanks to what ships? So Jack, I'm not following. What will be the cost / XP of a tier 10 CV? I don't know. Is it still going to be limited to 2 CVs per team? American Astronaut, I believe that is our intention to begin with. Do we get to choose what the ship it's removed to? I mean, if it's base XP, it will just be moved to like it won't be... Oh, server overloaded. Lots of people in the PTS. Okay, we're gonna try to Shokaku again. Yeah, I gonna do, like, guys, I'm doing my best to explain, but please remember, we're gonna have a huge portal article on this coming out real soon, which will give you absolutely all the details in, like, 100% easy to understand terminology. And then when it comes to getting rid of CVs, you can't say get rid of your tier 4 CV and get the free XP back from that if you are keeping your tier 10. You have to go tier 10, tier 8, tier 6, tier 4 if you're getting rid of them. When I have a tier 7, all the extra XP from 5 and 7 will be added onto tier 8. No, Next Manus, I don't think that's the case. Oh, look, some people have actually grounded out the high tier ones. Good on them. Hi, Grandma's you. How are you doing? Will you remove Kron as the same time as intro to CVs? Yes, Kronstadt and Musashi are being removed at 8.0. As I've mentioned a few times. That was detailed in the patch update notes for 7.10 actually. We've given you 2 months to get those research, get those collected. And since it's a pressing cat, you can show us the best builds. I haven't put that much thought into what would be the best build. I'm mainly just trying to get and show off gameplay. Plus, usually when I do my builds for my personal account, I will sit there for like a day trying to work out exactly how I want to build something. And I will take a lot of time to look at the stats, so I'll do that in my own private time, and I can show you that later. Do you like the American or the Japanese carriers more? I don't have a strong opinion from during the rework at the moment. I don't have a strong opinion yet. I haven't played enough of them, and I haven't played the whole lines of them, and I haven't played against, you know, majority people to really determine which I prefer. So I don't have a preference at the moment. Stalingrad is still safe. Yes, Stalingrad is not being removed at the moment. We have stated that the Stalingrad, we are proposing a change to the fire duration on the Stalingrad from 45 seconds to 60 seconds in line with the other battle cruisers of that tier, but it is not cemented in stone as yet. Opening up my fighter there. What do we got over here? Oh, I know what I'm missing.
Fighter airborne.
Okay.
We're under attack.
Oh, Cleveland. Ninja planes. Oh boy!
Approaching target. Taking fire. Returning to ship.
Don't know about that drop, but we'll go with it. No, topping destroyers is always going to be difficult. Now because you know, you're not playing with lots of torpedoes and it's going to be increasingly harder to cross-drop them. I think DDs will be a little bit glad to no longer be like First Blood Death Struck from CVs.
Returning to ship. We're under attack.
It's probably going to turn away from that. Right now I'm just kind of hassling more than anything, just because there's a lot of anti-air ships that I'm just trying to determine where they're planning on going before I make strong moves against them. Fem, where's your CV going? I don't know.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Okay, but let's use what works better against DDs, and that is the rockets. When you can actually get your aim right, which mine was not. You do have to account for the fact that the ship is going to continue to move forward as you drop. Swing these back around. Oh man, I have no idea what my carrier is doing, but okay. This is fine. Apparently I think I just made it go forward when I wasn't paying attention. I'm just going to quickly regain control of my carrier so I can actually get it where I want it to be, because this is not where I want it to be right now. Do you still have the ability to control your carrier like a regular ship if you choose to, so long as you're not in aeroplane mode? Okay. So now that it's gonna safely bump into the island and pretty much stay there. I'll be a little bit out of line of sight now, so I'm in a happier position. And we're gonna go to the Conqueror on the side. Do you prefer Japanese or Americans? I just answered this one, Funky Monkey. At this stage, pre-rework, I prefer Japanese. Post-rework, I don't have a strong opinion yet because I haven't played them enough to really work it out yet. Because, you know, they do play differently and they do have different strengths on them. But I just haven't played enough to really be able to determine that thoroughly yet. I'm still trying to, you know, get attack runs worked out better and elements such as that before I really home in my decision on which I prefer and start providing like proper guides and like suggestions for other players. It's always good to know what you're talking about before you try and tell someone else what you're talking about. Something I've learned in my life. Okay.
Autopilot mode enabled.
So we'll try the 80 bullets. Still haven't been able to do too much. And there is gonna just take some time getting. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play the TST 2 and 3 due to the fact we are at conventions around that time. So definitely a little rusty.
Approaching target.
Oh, game's over? Rip. Keep up the good work, thank you. Playing well and not paying much attention, that's okay. Yeah, bot games, fun games. Hard to do a whole lot. Why did only 2 of your bomb tech there was 4 available? Oops. Hold on, guys, we'll be back in a short moment. My game is just crashing. Sorry about that, guys. Oh no, hold on. Oh, my web camera's disappeared now too. Oh, I know what's happened. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You know, it is the PTS server, public test, testing breaks. Hey! Yeah, sorry about that. The fun when you set things up one way, and then fix it another way. Okay. Well, I still haven't had a chance to win my my Shokaku, so we're gonna try this again. But yeah, guys, we do have plenty of documentation coming out. We are very aware of your guys' concerns about different elements. Again, guys, we really recommend you jumping on the PST, giving your feedback through the feedback forum links, and help. The more games you play, the more data we can collect through the systems. So please, if you have the opportunity, you know, get on, play some games over the weekend, and help us collect the data we need. Yes, we are aware there's bugs and crashes. Like, I reported, I think, a few bugs this afternoon when I was playing at my computer. That's why we're having so many rounds of public tests at the moment, is to ensure that we're catching all the bugs and getting them all worked on. Yes, there will be captain resets. More details will, once again, guys, portal article. I keep trying to say forum article. Will all CVs have access to dive, rocket, and torpedo bombers? To my knowledge, yes, General. To my knowledge. Kevin Hunter, more details. Just wait until the details come out, okay? Okay, straight off with torpedo bombers. We are playing with a tier 10 CV, so they'll have a lot of planes in terms of like attack loops going. Let's go. Look at the wind. Whoosh. going straight up the middle to drop off a plane right here, just for mid defense.
Fighter airborne.
Let's see what we can see. So you do on the minimap have a detection circle of your planes.
Engaging enemy. Taking
Oh, not a good drop.
Fighter airborne.
And then I just accidentally return them. So that's something I have to be careful doing because I'm so used to like returning them after the very first, after you do one attack. So that's a little learning exercise. Their midway came straight for me, which is not so nice. I dropped off a fighter from my dive bombers. Oh, I actually hit a flooding on the Edinburgh from run-on torpedoes. I will totally take that. That was what was intended, guys. Have I played the UK carriers? No, I have not. I do not have them on my PTS. So as you can see, I'm using my heal boost because I am being attacked by dude's fighters behind. That's kind of like a good way to save your planes if you do run through that circle where the enemy has a catapult fighter high. You will. Okay, here we go. In with the dive bombers. Probably could have done that a bit better. Could have done that a lot better, apparently. I don't know if we're going to be able to swing these around in time. Nope. They're going to die before we get them back round, so let's just take off something else instead. Which will be our bombers. Sorry, our rockets. Can we see the Saipan? I do not have the Saipan, unfortunately. I do not have any of the premium carriers. Yeah. And how many, what, tier 8 games would you see 5 ships dead? Well, 8 ships total dead within the first 3 minutes. Only in games with bots. You attack the ship with very good SA. Not quite sure what SA stands for. Okay, so here we go. Got your lead indicator, that white circle in the ground in front of you. Which will move as you approach. And try not to hit our Benson. Fortunately, the smoke cloud kind of caught me off guard there a little bit. Let's spin back around. Go. 7 hits. And we'll spin around again. Round and round we go. Where we'll stop, we'll soon know. Bring the circle in early to try and help it reduce in size. Drop off our rockets. 3 non-pens, unfortunately. The only thing that's a little bit concerning is we did kind of schedule ourselves to go towards where our Magi is, but these two a little concerning in their positioning right now. A lot of Warship. What is my Twitch page called? It's twitch.tv/Femennenly, as down below.
We're under attack.
Is mine. Oh, I didn't want to take off my bombers. I would have taken something else then. That's okay. We'll go with bombers again.
Airborne.
Also, does Hiffy affect the bomber's penetration? I have not tried that. That's not a factor I've tried. Yeah, sniping a CV is not the most effective thing anymore. Well, it never really was super effective to begin with, but now it's even less effective. Swing around. Oh, he way drove back my circle then. The thing with the bomb is you really have to kind of be very predictive on getting on the either coming from straight behind or straight in front, because the side bombs you lose so much potential for aiming with them. Got a little something there. I'm gonna take that last one back because he just does not have anything really going for him with one squad with 200 health left. Okay, but this does look promising. It does look like we're going to win this one, which is nice. Obligatory reticle question. But you can't even see my reticle on this. Well, guys, like I said, PTS is running this entire weekend up until January 14th. Make sure you get in. Make sure you play the games. You know, test the content before it goes live. Get a feel for it. If that's not motivation enough to play it, then I don't know what is. You know, try and get good before the class releases on live. You know, and go for a bit of an angle here. You can kind of get both of them. Spin back. This way. Oh, ding ding. Oh, someone else coming. Okay, fine. We're gonna reassess our map positioning, and we'll go like up in here because our Amagi will take A. We'll fly across and we'll go do something else. This aiming reticle? Okay, so where is it? So you'll see whenever you go down to attack, it starts off wide. The longer you leave it without adjusting your aim, the narrower it will get. And then there's a shaded out section here. Hey, so the shaded out section, this bit here, the torpedoes will not arm within this area. As you can see, I'm not moving, so my aim gets narrower. Then I have a little bit of chance to move afterwards. Slight adjustments. And then I click once again to drop. So the longer you can leave it without making adjustments, the more accurate your, the tighter your spread will be, essentially.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
Oh, only 2 CVs left. Okay. Does that kind of help? Hey, Admiral Still, how are you doing? Good to see you. So unfortunately now I have to cross this barrier where he's already set up a kind of deterrent. So that's kind of one strategic thing you can do with your little float planes, is set them up in positions where it's going to force the enemy CV to do really awkward stuff. Okay, so coming over down from the mountain. Probably going to need to long drop this because otherwise we're going to lose our planes. We keep an eye on the health of our planes. And click to drop. Yeah, the second set are going to die, but we got a really good drop with the... Okay, we didn't get a really good drop, but we got a decent-ish drop. With the first set of torpedoes. But yeah, it's definitely going to take some time for players to get used to kind of the new attack, working out the best ways to get large damage numbers, and how to most effectively use all of the planes to your advantage, sort of thing. How do you lead a full-speed terrible with torpedo bombers? You can't. There are going to be some ships which are going to be impossible to try and hit with CVs, in which case it's going to make the CVs, you know, have to reconsider positions that were used to be viable because, you know, you were able to kill destroyers quickly, to maybe not as viable anymore because you don't have that opportunity. I'm going to drop off the plane here because it's midway between the Shokaku and my teammates.
Fighter airborne.
But yeah, it's all about just risk assessment and... again, I think it's going to be a lot different when, you know, you have allies who, quote-unquote, know what they're doing, sort of thing. So 3 pens. Take that back. 2 torpedoes out. So yeah, by leaving my little float lane there, that's being now attacked. So that's now attacking his torpedo bombers, which is nice for me and my teammates. Hopefully I'll get a plane kill out of it, maybe. Go back down towards the midway. Does fighter protection stay with the attacking aircraft flight, or will they remain in sectors such they can keep a DD spotted? I believe they will chase the planes that will go into that area. As you can see, my spotter craft went outside of its designated circle, but it is attacking the planes that are attacking the Charles Martel. Okay, so we're going to try and go for a really long drop here. To try and prevent as much anti-air from attacking our planes as possible.
Our victory is in sight.
We'll go about there-ish. I don't know if that's gonna yield results, but worth a shot. Being absolutely wrecked by fighters. Don't know. Didn't work. I mean, that's going to be something that, you know, time and skill is just going to come to getting those long drops done better. Game is almost over, luckily.
Airborne. Autopilot mode enabled.
So we'll keep going. Do you know what the CVN update will mean for WoW's Blitz? No, WoW's Blitz is developed differently and separately. There are different distinctive changes between Blitz PC and what is Legends, which is going to be the console version. So no, unfortunately I do not have any information on that. So this is where the health boost from our dive bombers will really become effective when we're going into a high anti-air target, such as the Midway. Midway starts duckering my planes. I'm going to go ahead and hit that repair button. I hit it too late, apparently. He was like, nope, goodbye. Yes, I am aware you can use S to slow down. I have been doing that. Okay, let's try that again. Is it possible to self-destruct your own ship? Haven't tried it, but I'd probably assume so, yeah. I'd say it's probably possible. Probably possible, yes.
We're under attack. Engaging enemy. We're under attack.
Here we go, 510s. Did have to use the speed boost to try and get out there quicker. S to slow down and rotate.
Approaching target. Our victory is
Wasn't meant to be, but again, this is where, you know, I'm losing my planes very, very quickly because I'm being careless. But even though I've got that,
maintaining present course.
the quote-unquote unlimited planes, it's not really helping my case because, hey,
Engaging enemy.
um,
Fighter airborne. We're under attack. Returning to ship. We're under attack.
because, you know, I'm running through my planes so fast and my planes don't have ample time to reload. So yeah, I've only got 2 rockets, 1 torpedo, 2 dive bombs ready, so realistically there's nothing for me really to attack with. Once again, my delayed drop was not effective. And of course, you know, tier 8 planes against Midway to begin with, you know, you're only going to be so lucky doing that.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire.
But all I can try and do is just pop what I can pop while I can pop it, you know? One more pass. Sorry. Yeah, but I didn't play this one very well, and, you know, I'm still very much getting used to it. And playing against bots where, you know, we had 8 ships dead within the first 3 minutes of game, makes it a little bit harder. But now that I've gone with rockets a few times, he's definitely weakening his anti-air, and the fact that his fighter squadron is down, or will go down, does help my cause too. Just immediately pop my fighter, because obviously I know I'm quite close to him.
Fighter airborne.
These are dive bombers.
Engaging enemy. Taking fire.
Depends.
The ship is on fire.
Yeah. But yeah, attacking your CV is by no means like easy. It's by no means easy or quick damage. Like it used to be.
Torpedoes to starboard.
I'm gonna die here. I got stuck. But that's okay, because we won. We'll take it. Woo! Is this feature update for the PC? Yes, Dylan. This is patch 8.0 that's coming out this January. Why can't fighters strafe ships? Well, there is technically no fighters. You only have your rocket launcher planes, which can attack ships. So, but I mean, that's a rough idea of what we're looking at, guys. Again, test server is going to be open until the 14th. So get on there, play your games, say hello to your friends, get your friends in it. The more data, the better. And keep an eye out on the forums and on the homepage for more information to do with the CV rework. It is about time for us to end this up tonight, so I would like to say goodnight to you all. I hope you had fun. I hope you have a safe weekend. Play some PTS. And we'll see you, real quick. Wait for it. We'll see you on the high seas soon, captains. Take care.